Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready.
Today we're taking a look at the academic job market, kind of demystifying all those faculty positions at universities.
Yeah, trying to break into academia can feel like navigating a maze sometimes.
Absolutely. So many different titles and ranks, it's like where do you even begin? And for this deep dive, we've got this awesome document outlining all the faculty titles, different statuses, all that good stuff. And get this, did you know you could be a professor who's technically retired?
Emeritus professors.
Mhm.
A very prestigious club to join.
Right. But they can still teach and do research. Or, how about this? Some professors, they're in like multiple departments at once.
Joint appointments, yeah. That's a whole other layer of complexity.
It's a real fascinating world. And honestly, when I first started looking into all of this, I was totally lost. Like,
Yeah.
what even is the difference between an instructor and a lecturer?
Right, you've got instructors, lecturers, assistant professors, visiting professors. It's definitely not as straightforward as it might seem.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not just about different names.
No, not at all. Each one of those titles actually reflects a different level of experience responsibility within the university. It even reflects a different place in the power structure.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Power structure. What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. Certain positions, they've got way more job security. Some have a lot more influence over like departmental decisions. And then some, they open doors to research opportunities that others might not even be able to consider.
So it's a lot more than just, being called professor.
Way more. And honestly, that brings us to maybe one of the biggest distinctions there is. The difference between tenure and tenure track positions.
Yes, tenure. That's like the holy grail of academia, right?
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this all the way back in college. Tenure means you've got a job for life, right?
Essentially, yeah. Tenure is all about providing that unparalleled job security. It allows professors to go after research projects, express different viewpoints, without having to worry about losing their job just because their findings are controversial or their opinions might be unpopular.
Wow. Okay, so tenure track then, that's basically the path to getting that kind of security.
Exactly. Think of it as like a probationary period. Professors are constantly being evaluated on their research, how they teach, and, their service to the university.
I bet that's a lot of pressure.
It is. It is. It's a very rigorous process, but at the end of the day, the reward is pretty massive. Academic freedom and a chance to really shape your field for years to come. It's a big deal.
Totally. But what happens to those who, they don't get tenure? What happens to them?
That's where we come to non-tenured positions. Those are often contract-based roles, different lengths of employment. They can be a really great way to gain experience, build up your portfolio, but they don't have that same stability as a tenured position. Not at all.
Yeah, our document here, it actually mentions that a lot of non-tenured faculty, they feel kind of vulnerable, especially when it comes to, expressing ideas that go against the grain.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. If your contract's about to be renewed, you probably don't want to cause too much trouble, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, that lack of job security, it can lead to something we call a chilling effect. Basically, it might discourage some non-tenured faculty from pursuing certain research or even just expressing opinions that might, ruffle some feathers.
Right. It's a tricky situation.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got tenure, tenure track, and non-tenured positions. But wait, what about those emeritus professors we talked about earlier? What exactly is their role?
Emeritus stat, it's like an honorary title. Universities grant it to professors who retire but have made huge contributions to their field.
So even though they're retired, they're still superstars in academia.
Exactly. And often they stay active, they're still researching, publishing, even if they're not teaching or in like administrative roles.
That makes a lot of sense. And I mean, the perks must be pretty nice too. The document even mentions they can sometimes keep their office space, library privileges, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. You've spent your whole career dedicated to a field, so it's nice to still be a part of that world. Think of it like a well-deserved VIP pass. Even after retirement, their experience and expertise, it still enriches the university as a whole.
It's really cool, actually.
It is.
So you mentioned earlier that a professor's work isn't always limited to just one department. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. We were talking about joint and courtesy appointments. It's pretty interesting. It allows professors to work across different disciplines, collaborate with colleagues in other departments.
Joint appointments sound pretty intense, though. So does that mean a professor with a joint appointment, are they basically doing like two jobs?
It can definitely be
Yeah.
a lot to juggle, yeah. They've got teaching and research responsibilities in both departments.
Wow. So they're straddling two different academic worlds.
Exactly, but think about the potential impact they can have.
That's true. Okay, and what about courtesy appointments? How are those different?
Courtesy appointments, they're a bit more informal. They might not involve like formal teaching duties, but what they do is they create opportunities for research collaboration, maybe some guest lectures, participating in other departmental activities.
Oh, I see. So it's more about building connections across different fields.
Precisely. It's a way to build those bridges, foster some really cool cross-disciplinary connections.
This is all really fascinating. We started with just one word, professor, and we've uncovered this whole complex world of titles, different statuses, various appointment types.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It really is. I can totally see why it's important to understand all these little nuances.
It is. It's about recognizing that academic careers aren't always a straight line.
Hmm,
There are so many different paths people can take in this world, and it's a vibrant, intellectually stimulating world.
that's a great way to put it. So for anyone listening who's, thinking about a career in academia or even just trying to figure out how universities work, remember this, Professor, it's just the beginning.
The tip of the iceberg, right?
Exactly. There's a whole universe of fascinating roles and possibilities underneath.
And hey, if you're thinking about pursuing those tenure or tenure track positions, there's a fantastic resource out there.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Academicjobs.com. They've got tons of openings listed, and it's a great way to get even more insight into that side of the academic job market.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. We hope you've got a much clearer picture of the academic job market now and feel, a little more empowered to explore all the amazing paths it has to offer.
Good luck.
See you next time.